Bar's been really good on
Mic check.
but he's been hot. Shingun, another chase down block.
Mic check, mic check, mic check. All right.
He bends the rim. The Rockets are rolling. They're up by 5. No McDaniels.
I'm here for one reason and one reason only.
And again,
we're here for one reason and one reason only.
Yes, it is a charge. 3 straight all-world defensive plays from Alperen Sengun. I don't care about his 28 points, Craig. You just mentioned the defense that he's been playing on the stretch, the free throws, the 2 areas of concern with Alperen Sengun. He stepped up and they're challenging it. Those feet were moving. Minnesota's challenging it.
Being called the challenge running for.
There's the next block on Anderson. He thought he had a dunk. It comes down to legal guarding position here for Alperen Sengun. This the pass. Kevin Durant with the dunk. He's come alive since the end of the third quarter. Now up to 26 points. Durant had only made 3 shots in 3 quarters. He's made 5 since.
Okay.
Catastrophic turnover, but Sengun saved the day. We will.
Let's see.
Now forget that. But it's an 18-2 overall run here for the Rockets. They're up by 5 at Minnesota, challenging this offensive foul on Naz Reid. So Reid Kern.
All right, so look, we know what time it is, man. We know what time it is. Y'all know why I'm here. Y'all know why I'm here.
Saying that they weren't moving the other time, and he definitely slides at the end there. I've seen it called both ways, Craig. I
really got off late. Didn't think I was going to be able to. I didn't even get off in time to do the pregame. But I'm going to pull up right here and say this right here about this. For one, I appreciate all the subscribers and the likes and the subscribes. It's been going crazy the past couple of weeks. I appreciate that. With that being said, this overtime is going crazy. The Rockets look like they have an opportunity to do something that we haven't seen them do. And if they do it, I'm gonna have some things to say about tonight's game. But as of right now, you know, we just watching. We're just watching and seeing how things turn out. Everything looking good and to the people of the world. Yep. Well, ain't that something? Everything looking good to the people of the world. Right? You can be appreciative of what this Rockets team is doing right now. It's definitely a little bit different for us right now as far as maintaining the lead. The Rockets haven't been known for maintaining the lead, but they have an opportunity to do just that and show that they can be somewhat professional.
23 at the free throw line. And we also joke that walk that Craig had with the officials had nothing to do with these calls.
But Alperen Sengun is different.
We like to think we impact the game, but we don't.
Hey.
Durant one-on-one with Randall. Durant over Randall. Contested.
Oh my goodness.
He is woken up.
Oh my goodness.
Worst shooting game. All of a sudden, 30 and he's past Karl Malone. Well, it's not McDaniels. He can see right over Randall. He has passed Karl Malone now for the fourth most 30-point games in NBA history. Oh, Shepard picks it. Shepard drops it. Thompson dunks it. All Houston.
Yeah, they going crazy.
They're up 11. They were down 11. My goodness.
They just went crazy. The Rockets just went crazy down the stretch.
180 degrees. They were down 11 with 3:47 to go. Now
the Rockets just went crazy down the stretch.
It's a 24-2 run. Kevin Durant over.
I'm not getting no response, no harm, no foul. It's all good. What we know these Rockets are. When these guys get in the locker room tonight, it's gonna be nut check time. Because guys are going to have to stand up and say exactly what tonight's game meant for them.
You saw the best team effort so far. Game far from over, but guys have played their role.
I'm not tonight's game. Right now, whether we win or lose, I just saw a different heart from guys. I just saw a totally different heart. I got off work too late to really do the pregame show. So I had no expectations on what tonight's game was going to be like. But as of right now, this Rocket team should be totally different going into the playoffs. I saw times in this game where Alfred Sengun was not jumping as high as he should have been. Somewhere along the way, that dude took off into another stratosphere emotionally. And I don't know if it was Jayshawn Tate that started it, but for me, I'm going to give the credit to Jayshawn Tate. I think Jayshawn Tate started this run. I think Jayshawn Tate started this comeback. And oh my goodness, I don't have no sound effects. I do got some sound effects, but not the ones I'm looking for. But Alfred Sengun going crazy right now. You got to defend down the stretch. You know, don't get complacent. We want to end this game on a high note. Don't get complacent. Alfred Sengun, Jabari Smith in the corner for three. He misses. The ball tapped out by Armin. Minnesota is on the fast break. Mike Conley picks Julius Randle. Slow-mo. You cannot take your shoes off yet. Because slow-mo is a dog. And slow-mo will come at you for the rest of this game. He out there because he know how to win, and he don't got no game over with in him. And to be honest, this Minnesota team know that they can beat you. You have to beat them. They're not going to give you a game right now. Slow-mo at the free throw line. He makes one, miss one. Backcourt violation 8-second violation by Alfred Sengun. Don't point to complain. That's just your emotions running high. Get back down there and play basketball. Get back and play basketball. You did all you can do. Don't mess it up by crying about something that you know you could have did better. DiVincenzo. Now, they crowd is back into it. They call a timeout before we can get back on the run. And this Minnesota team is starting to feel like, okay, we should not have lost the lead. We need to be able to channel that energy that we had and finish this game out. Don't let the heroics of Jayshawn Tate and Alfred Sengun go to waste. Just like they, converted in the clutch time of the Kevin Durant passing Michael Jordan, they need to have that same kind of intensity and focus down the stretch of this game. Timeout on the floor right now. And after this, we will see how this game concludes. With that being said,
get the latest Galaxy for $0 at Verizon. Circle to search with Google to swipe a whole new look.
Oh, yeah. So I
So
don't
Yeah.
This is a
now at Verizon, get
this is
home
the kind of
exclusive
game you
Verizon
have to
26
win
Ultra for $0.
for,
No
not
trade-in
because
Forgot about the
it's
shoes.
not like Anthony Edwards not there. We know Anthony Edwards not there, but we've been losing the team without their superstars, and some of these guys have played well above their emotional level. They playing with their heart. They showing the dog in them, the Viking in them. They showing they putting out everything they got right now. And you just gotta close this game out. You just gotta close this game out so I can get this takeoff, and I can give Jay Sean Tate his props for Reed Shepard. Reed Shepard controlling the pace. They pressed him. He did not waver. They pressing him. They trapping him. He is not wavering. Shangoon getting body, and Roddy. They fouling. Okay. They getting real aggressive down there. Oh my goodness. 10 straight for the Timberwolves. There you go. Don't stop. Almond Thompson brings the ball up court. Pitches it to Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant out of the situation. Here comes the trap. He's waiting on the trap. Passes Almond in the middle of the court. Almond goes to the floater. He misses. Albert Shango looks to recover. Minnesota knocks it out. Minnesota knocks it out.
Back to 14. You got the direct to Durant.
Throw it over the top. Slow mo grabbing and pulling on everything. Kevin Durant out of the situation. Turnover by Kevin Durant. Houston Rockets ball. Houston Rockets basketball. Minnesota basketball. Turn the ball over 3 times in one possession. Houston Rockets just turned the ball over 3 times in one possession. Ball slipped out of his hand. He kicked the ball. Throw the ball. Almond Thompson tipped the ball. Shangoon steal the ball. Almond dive for the ball. And DiVincenzo hit that ball out. 3 turnovers in one possession. And Jay Sean Tate is back in the game. We finna win the ball game.
Stay disciplined. Finish with the big rebound here. 10 unanswered for the Timberwolves. 1 minute to go.
Minnesota looks to score 3. 3 Vincenzo for 3. 3 Vincenzo for 3. Dante 3 Vincenzo looks to steal the game from Houston. 52 and counting. And it looks like this is going to be a heartbreak in Minnesota. But they let them get away with a lot of fouls and stuff. Yeah, they let them get away with a lot of fouls and jumping over the back. You at this point in the game, you just got to start fouling because they let them get away with fouls. Now watch Jay Sean Tate. Watch Jay Sean Tate gonna make you get off the ball. See, I'm gonna push you. I'm gonna go ahead and push you. There go your screen. We don't care about your screen. Jump out on you. I'm gonna make you get rid of this basketball. Julius Randle, just a bulldog. And the score is 110 to 108. They just scored 14 consecutive points. 15 straight points.
With 8.8 to go in overtime. So here's the thing. Again, you get another opportunity. Miscommunication. DiVincenzo.
Let's see. 3 Vincenzo. And look, this game is not over. It's not over. All we need is one big play. We got a big shot taking, a big shot making Kevin Durant. This could very well be a go-ahead clutch time bucket by Kevin Durant.
And he gives Minnesota the lead, but again, watch him. He's a bull, man. If you're Şengün, go block that shot. Go get another one because he ain't passing. But right now,
Julius Randle is not passing the basketball. You believe that?
For Reed Shepherd. He popped up. He's back. He had LP working, so you ended up with two options right now.
All right, so let's see how this thing is going to close out.
The Rockets and Timberwolves are both out of timeouts. The Rockets, as we've seen, have had some issues on inbounding. It's a big scenario here. They're down 2. This game has had a little bit of everything. The Rockets were just up 13. Now down by 2 with the ball. 8.8 to play in overtime. And now keep in mind, you can go direct to
I thank everybody for the subscription.
If he takes his time, he can shoot.
Thank you for subscribing. Thanks for the likes. Please hit the like and the subscribe as you come in.
Comes into Durant, defended by Anderson. Durant slips by Anderson. Durant flipped it up short.
No fouls.
He was fouled. Yes, he was fouled. Yes, he was.
Okay.
Kevin Durant just got fouled.
Okay, they finally call a foul.
Absolutely was fouled. He came off that. The miss.
They finally call a foul. Kevin Durant to go to the line. They almost blew his Achilles out. Let's see how many fouls. That's a foul. That's a foul. That's a foul. That's 2 fouls. I counted at least 2 fouls on that play.
3.3 to go in overtime. Third straight just.
Somewhere along the way, you have got to clutch up. You got to clutch up, Kevin Durant. You got to clutch up, Kevin Durant.
They were 23 of 23 at the line. And their first free throw miss. Get your rebounders in there, and you got to go get this. Now you got him Tate, and you got him mid up top. They're going to try to get ahead of steam.
Then you got to miss this.
You have to miss this one. You got Bones Highland going to block out and try to face guard here. See the referees get
and this is the ball game.
Oh my Lord. 3.3.
This is the ball game. So the score going to be 108 to 110.
Oh, this is Rockets ball. It is Rockets ball. There is still life left in that beating heart.
This is a heartbreak. This is a heartbreak game, bro.
There's no timeouts.
Believe that.
Enough time to get a catch and shoot, a really good look off. Let's see this.
Believe that. This is a heartbreak game.
Minnesota could grab. You can go direct to Durant. The fadeaway can be there. Here we go. 1.1 in OT. It all deflected. And the time runs out. Terrence Shannon Jr. with the deflection. Time runs out on the Rockets.
All right, so let's get into a couple of box score stuff and get this off my screen before they try to flag me real quick, because I know they will flag me immediately. 30 points for Kevin Durant, 16 points for Jabari Smith Jr., 30 points for Alperen Şengün, 11 points for Amen Thompson, 10 points for Reed Shepherd, 5 points for Jayshawn Tate, 3 points for Torrey Eason, 3 points for Aaron Holiday. And it went like 9 for 22 for Kevin Durant, 7 for 15 for Jabari, 12 for 22 for Alperen Şengün, 4 for 8 for Amen Thompson, 3 for 13 for Reed Shepherd, 1 for 2 for Jayshawn, 1 for 7 for Torrey, and 0 for 1 for Clint Capella, 1 for 3 for Aaron Holiday.
Shannon deflects the inbounds.
Durant, 10 for 12 from free throw, 2 of which were Hugh Norman. The 2 free throws he missed might have been the 2 biggest free throws of the year. If he'd have hit those 2 free throws and went 100% from the free throw line, we go into double overtime and maybe pull out this win. But mind you, Kevin Durant had a good game. 2 for 5 from 3, 3 rebounds, 8 assists, 6 turnovers. Also, 2 of his turnovers were monumental turnovers. 2 steals and a block. You know, steal and a block was big steal, big block. Okay, cool. But 6 for 6 for Alperen Şengün. I mean, we shot immaculate from the free throw line tonight. immaculate free throw shooting from the free throw line tonight. And it was crazy that the two biggest free throws that we missed tonight were the two that could have took us into double overtime. The two that we needed from our clutch player, we didn't make. But since I'm here, I will go ahead and tell you, give you, you know, some of the stuff that I was gonna hold until the next game. Again, I didn't get to do the pregame show, so it's some stuff I didn't say. And I guess now is as good as time as any. Okay. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribe. Please hit the like and subscribe as you come in. I appreciate it. With that being said, um, Jay Sean Tate was the key factor for tonight's game. Jay Sean Tate brought the fire. Defense, you know, not great. But what he did do, he did bring a certain level of energy and determination that you have to have from somebody on the court. Just all out, doggedness, die for every ball, not gonna back down. And I think the play that did it for me was the after the shot clock. I think Bones Holland tried to shoot a 3-pointer, and Jay Sean Tate jumped up and stuck his hand up through the net, up through the rim, to make sure he didn't see the ball go through the net. And people will be like, "That's not even during the game. Why is that a big play?" Well, because he sacrificed his whole entire finger just to make sure that a guy didn't see the ball go through the net. And that's a huge thing. That's a huge thing for a guy who shoots the ball after the clock to see the ball go through the net. That could carry over, and that guy could get scorching hot. But Jay Sean Tate is the kind of person that will sacrifice without thinking about it every single time he's on the floor. Every single time that he laces up his shoes, he's the kind of person that sacrifices without thinking. And that particular after the whistle blow play was something that stood out to me. The other thing that stood out to me tonight was, you know, mind you, it was bad quarters. It was bad quarters. But when we galvanized and we started to come together, we actually played a remarkably good game for 8, 9 minutes straight. You know, we just have to do that early, and we have to do that continuously. Another thing that I noticed, Reed Shepard closed the game. Ime is trusting Reed to close the game. I see people trying to pressure Reed in the backcourt. He don't get rattled no more. That's big because that's a step that we needed him to take when a guy runs up to him and you're able to counteract his approach with your speed and continue push the ball down the court. So Reed being able to go through and not get rattled when somebody's trying to pressure him early, that's big. That's monumental to me. Um, but I think the thing that people are gonna rave about tonight more so than anything was just the pure Titan nature of Alper Shangoon. LP is just a Titan. He is absolutely a Viking. He is absolutely whatever you want to say about heart and doggedness and just just vicious at times. With a smile. Yeah, sometimes he make the LP face and whatever. But I have you know, I have you know that what we saw from Alper Shangoon is not what we hear from, you know, some of my good buddies, good friends or whatever you want to, that come through and voice their opinion about Al Shangon. We did not see one iota of softness from Al Shangon tonight. We did see bad shots. We did see a couple of bad turnovers. Um, well, no, we saw a bad turnover from Al Shangon tonight. But we also saw 4 blocks from Al Shangon. Now, will he have a night like this all the time? No, he won't. But the thing about Al Shangon is when he's challenged, he always steps up. He never shrinks from a challenge. You know, he went at Rudy Gobert often. He went at Rudy Gobert all night long. Every time that we needed to gain our composure and look at the game from a different perspective, Al Shango would just get the ball and I'm just going right in Rudy's chest. Let me go in his chest and see if I can get a foul on him. And he did that over and over and over and over and over again tonight. So much that he almost, you know, almost won the game. Very much to the point to where he ended up fouling Rudy out, just being physical with him and fighting with him. But he needs to be able to do that against everybody, not just Rudy Gobert, because we know that Rudy Gobert is not known for being the most aggressive person in the league. He needs to have that type of aggression with the Jokic's, with the, you know, uh, Giannis's, and with the DeAndre Aytons, and you know, he needs to be aggressive like that with the Chets of the league. And if Alper Shangoon can play like this every night, if he brings this kind of intensity every night on the defensive end, he's obviously tired. He's not jumping to his full max capacity, but but I saw Albert Shangoon jump and almost touch the top of the square on the backboard. I've never seen Albert Shangoon jump that high before, ever, ever. Matter of fact, if we would have won this game tonight, this game would have been holistically due to Albert Shangoon and Jay Sean Tate. You could have given this game directly to Albert Shangoon and Jay Sean Tate. If they could split the game ball in half, saw it in half like an orange, and give half of the game ball to Jay Sean, half of the game ball to LP, this would have been the perfect game to reward those guys for what they brought to the team tonight. Um, I was I was a little bit disappointed in, not disappointed, just a little bit let down that Amin was 4 of 8. I mean, 50% ain't bad, but he wasn't really aggressive. He wasn't really, really aggressive tonight, but he did have 10 assists and 9 rebounds, which for your shooting guard, not bad, but for your shooting guard, 8 shots says a lot. Um, 2 blocks, big blocks, and 6 offensive rebounds. I mean, we had guys out there doing every possible thing they could to win this game, and we were still getting smacked around early. It didn't look good. It didn't look good at all early, and it was amazing that they was able to overcome that as a team. Hold on, I got some pinging going. Okay. Oh my God. Oh my days. So let's see what this is all about. Um, hold on, let me say what I'm gonna say, and then I'm gonna here we go. Here we go. Um, it was amazing that they was able to come together as a team and fight, overcome the odds, step over the obstacles, galvanize each other, stick behind Reed when he was shooting bad, big up each other, and to mesh and fight to try to pull this off. Don't honestly, when I saw Scott Foster, I was like, probably gonna lose this game. I mean, tip off, I look over, I see Scott Foster, I'm like, okay, probably gonna lose this game. But the fact that they got so close to almost overcoming the just just the barrage of fouls, just the barrage of fouls, how physical the game was, and made everybody shot 100% from the free throw line, other than the 2 free throws that Kevin Durant missed. This was a actual playoff intensity game, and we played up to the way you have to play in the playoff, because it's gonna be games where your guys don't hit shots. It's gonna be game where you have bad games in spurts, ebbs and flows, highs and lows, peaks and valleys. But in the closing time of the game, if you're able to grab the momentum when the momentum swings to you, and you're able to ride that momentum into the closing of the game, you can pull off an upset victory against any team. And we have the team that can beat anybody any given night. This Minnesota team was playing more fluid together basketball without Anthony Edwards. Because when your star goes down and you a whole team, you tend to play more gelled basketball. And they've been playing very gelled basketball. And we came in and they was playing gelled, and we almost beat them. Now let's get to the comments. Shout out to KLD in the comment. He started off like this: lies. He was soft the entire first half. He turned up late in the fourth and part of overtime. Um, he he. I don't think he was soft. I can't go with you on that. I don't think he was soft. I think it was some fouls going on, and he wasn't playing super great, but he was playing decent because Rudy Gobert was in foul trouble going into the third quarter. Going into the third quarter, Rudy Gobert was already in foul trouble. He already had 4 fouls. He shrunk versus Randall in overtime with the game on the line, flailing and flopping around, throwing up weak ass hook shots, and missing badly. Um, yeah, they was fouling in overtime. They was fouling in overtime, and everybody on our team looked bad down the stretch. I mean, everybody on our team looked bad in that last, what was it, like 4 minutes of overtime? The whole last 4 minutes of overtime, we looked horrible. We looked horrible in that last 4 minutes of overtime. It was not one person that looked good in the last 4 minutes of overtime other than Amin Thompson. And I, needless to say, that I'm still looking as like why they never gave Amin the opportunity to try to score down the stretch when we couldn't score. Why you don't give Amin the opportunity to, hey, go run past your man real fast. They don't have nobody that can keep up with you. Why don't you go blow past somebody and go get to the rack? We was going to KD every time because it was working when we made our run, and it just didn't work down the stretch. Um, no, this was LP Viking, a display of heart and warrior like mentality. Playing through all kind of contact. You know, I can't really shit on him. I can't really poop on him on this one. But I do. I mean, nobody was good in the first half. Everybody was missing shots. Everybody was missing shots. Everybody was he was missing. let me see. Was he missing shots in the first half? Was LP missing shots in the first half? Let's see. Albert Shangoon, 12 of 22. So, you know, whatever he was doing, him and KD did the same thing. Him and KD did the same thing. And Albert Shangoon had 4 blocks in the second half. Now, what I will say is he had 3 rebounds in the he had 3 rebounds going into the fourth quarter. So if you say he was soft because he didn't have rebounds, then I have to agree with you because I was looking at it and saying, he not getting to no rebounds. He not getting to no but that block, look at that block is crazy. That block is crazy. Why he shaking his face like that? Why he shaking his face? He's shaking his face like he really was doing something. But but I tell you, I like what I really, man, I really wish they could have pulled this game off. How I wish they could have pulled this game off so badly just to show them what their potential actually is if they play with that kind of intensity. This was a game that we needed, not because we needed the win. I mean, yeah, we needed the win, but the way they fought back, we needed to fight back and have that kind of energy from him and Jay Sean coming off the bench, Albert Shangoon playing that way down the stretch. We needed that because that was going to stick with this team. See, it's certain things that stick with your team. It's certain things that stick with your team and build your culture. And if we would have won this game that way, that would have stuck with this team for as long as he was on the team. Now, with that being said, I got something else to talk about because, like I said, I really didn't get off in time to, dedicate a show to the pregame show and the game or whatever, or anything for that matter. But what I do want to talk about before I get off is it's been a lot of um how do you say ramblings about a Giannis trade. Um, I've seen 4 different Rockets channels title something about a Giannis trade. Now, why did I not follow the trend? Might you ask? You might ask that if you know me and you be like, okay, well, he usually be on top of all the trade shit, usually on top of all the trade stuff. So I will go ahead and tell you why I didn't jump on the Giannis trend because it's playoff time. It's not trade time. It's playoff time. It's and maybe here's the thing. See, you know me. I'm a 10-4 hatter. And I'm saying maybe this is because the same thing happened last year before the playoffs. It was a small leak about going to get Kevin Durant. And then the Kevin Durant rumors started to surface right around playoff time. And so I'm saying it seems like somebody is putting out this information like clockwork. Now, either they're doing it to cause turmoil in the locker room or to, get people into bad spirits about a trade just to throw out something to get people off their game, or they're doing it to motivate people. They're doing it to motivate guys to say, hey, I don't want to be in a trade. Let me show you how good I am. Either way, either way, I don't think it's important about a Giannis trade. I don't think a Giannis trade is at all important at this time of year. A Giannis trade is important maybe 2 weeks after the trade deadline. You can talk about a trade. This time of year is, if you're looking at March Madness, you know, you could talk about drafts. You could talk about the draft. You want to talk about AJ Jabasa or Boozer or any of that stuff? Can we move up? Can we move up and draft somebody, which we know we can't really do that? Okay, let's talk about that. Um, but as far as a Giannis trade, it's not really important. Not at all. Because all things considered, all things being considered, we don't know how these guys gonna play in the playoff, but we do know how Giannis gonna play in the playoff. Not at all. Not at all. Because he hurt again, isn't it? So Giannis probably not playing in the playoffs. And not only that, here's the thing. When you draft a big name player, you draft him with the idea of, hey, when you trade for a big name player, you trade him with the idea of he can get us a championship. So yeah, Giannis can get us a championship if he come to this team with any way that we don't have to get rid of a lot of players. Giannis can bring us a championship. Cool. That's cool. But here's my question. Here's my question for Rockets fans. Are you willing to trade a championship, which is really one game, and in essence, um, you know, let's say 16 games, 18. Let's say you got 82 plus 16. That's 8, 9, 98 games. Let's say 100 games. Let's say we won 50. You get to the playoff, you win another 16. So that's 66 games. Are you willing to trade for 16 more wins? Because that's what you would have to have. You would have to have 16 more wins than what we have now. For in 2-3 years, we go right back to 25, 30 wins. The math don't add up. The math does not add up. It's simple math. If you get 16 wins now, in a year or two, you're going to be right back to 35 win seasons. So the 16 wins right now is not going to average out what we will be able to do if we keep this team and keep winning 50, 60 games. You'll get more wins. But the magnitude of the win, because it's winning a title, and we know if you a grown man, you know how we feel about titles. Like, okay, titles is cool and all that, but do you really need a title if you have success every day? If you have 60 wins a season and you don't win a title for 8 years, is that better than winning a title next year and then being right back at 50 wins second round and then 35 wins the year after that? And then being in purgatory for the next 4 or 5 years. It just don't make sense, bro. Because when you get a superstar caliber player, you're getting him with the idea he can bring you a title, and if it doesn't work out, he still has trade value. Guess what? We got a superstar on our team that trade value is diminishing. Do we need another superstar on our team with diminishing trade value? With diminishing trade value. That means we're stuck with two guys who have value that we can't do anything with. We can't parlay this value into nothing worth what we'll sacrifice. Now, am I totally against y'all? I'm not totally against getting Giannis. I don't want to. I don't want to go that far and be like, no, f no, I'm a hard pass and all this and that stuff. I'm not. I'm not going that far and just declining, any phone calls. First of all, I'm not putting myself in GM situation about a Giannis trade, basically because, like I said, it's playoff time, and I don't really give a two shits about a Giannis trade in playoff time. What I care about right now is how can these guys mesh, gel, come together, get inspired, play hard, muster up the heart of a champion, you know, go spend a weekend with Vernon Maxwell and Mario Elliott. What do these guys have to do so that we can have an enjoyable playoff? Because for me personally, I'm going to enjoy the playoff this year. I enjoyed the playoff last year, and I'm going to enjoy the playoff this year. See, I wasn't one of the people that was saying every game, "Oh, this the worst thing. Oh, this the worst thing ever. Oh, this the worst thing ever." You'll never hear me do that. You'll never hear me do that because I'm watching and I'm saying, "Hey, one or two things can change everything. One or two things can change everything." Ime moves Jalen Green earlier off the ball a little bit. Instead of having him using him as a decoy, as he was saying, maybe Jalen Green get off earlier last year. Maybe you run Jalen Green off screen. It's a lot of things that can happen, and it's a lot of things that can happen between now and the season. Tonight could have been one of them. The win with Kevin Durant passing Michael Jordan, Armin Thompson getting that tip in, um, would have been a big thing. I mean, it was a big thing. Tonight would have been a monumental win if they could have just found a way to pull it out. Because I think that would have solidified this team back to back clutch victories that show them that hustle, that dog mentality, that fight for each other. That's what Houston Rocket basketball is about. That's what Houston Rockets basketball is about. It's about fighting for your teammate. It's about, hey, I see this one guy that's going all out. I'm going to go all out with him. And everybody following in line. Hey, I see one guy having a bad game. Let's pick it up for him. You know, the famous Mad Max story. We was losing. So I go out there in the second half. I go crazy, score 30 points in a half. I go tell Dream, hey, shit, I got us back in it. You got to carry us the rest of the way, big fella. They go on to win, right? Somebody willing to go down fighting and somebody willing to fight for that person that's willing to go down fighting. That's what Houston basketball has always been about. And tonight could have set that stage with back-to-back clutch wins. That's kind of where I'm at with mine. Um, I hope I actually hope to see more Jay Sean Tate. More I hope to see more Jay Sean Tate you know, than not. Than not. Because something about Jay Sean Tate something about Jay Sean Tate to me brings out the energy in the team. It's something about having that guy, the aura, the energy, the spark that he brings to the team. Other guys don't bring it. Josh Okogie plays excellent defense. Dorian Finney-Smith plays good defense. But they don't have that Jayshawn Tate energy when they play. And I mean, let's be honest, they just not an automatic bucket around the paint like Jayshawn Tate is. You know, neither one of those guys. You messing up my soliloquy, dog. You messing up my soliloquy. Neither one of those guys can go and just get you 10 points in the paint, bro. Neither one of those guys can just go get you 10 points in the paint on any guard. And to be honest, I would like to know, has anybody ever seen anybody pressure Jayshawn Tate when he's dribbling the ball? I mean, tell me, other than Reed Shepard, Alperen Sengun, who would you rather have bringing the ball up the court than Jayshawn Tate? I mean, and Holiday, obviously, because that's Holiday. But I mean, Jayshawn Tate got to be right there. Jayshawn Tate got to be right there as people that you feel comfortable bringing the ball up the court. And I don't, man, look, I got to find out what it is that you don't like about Jayshawn Tate, because I like Jayshawn Tate as a player. And there's a lot of guys who don't like Jayshawn Tate as a player, but I never see it. I never see it. I never see this horrible thing about Jayshawn that people just don't like. Can he shoot? No. No, but he hit a three tonight. He hit a three and started the comeback. Can he shoot better than Armin? Yes. Can he shoot better than Torrey? It's looking like it. Right now, it's looking like he can shoot better than Torrey too. But I don't know, man. It's rough on me. It's rough on me to because I watched Jayshawn Tate in different situations, and the one thing I can tell you is when he gets on the court, he changes the energy of the team. It's like the guys feel that he's gonna go out on a limb. He's gonna go out swinging. He's gonna go down swinging. You're not gonna get Jayshawn Tate in a situation to where he's not playing his hardest or diving for loose balls or running into people or getting rebounds. And prime example, ball came off the rim, back of the rim. Jabbar's under the goal. LP, and I want to say Armin was right by the rim. Jayshawn Tate skied over everybody, down there knocked Jabbar down, got the rebound, took off up the court, kicked the ball out, boom, transition. Why is that important? Because I think sometimes people forget. When I'm going after this rebound, I'm trying to get the rebound over everybody, even my teammates. I'm not getting the rebound. I'm gonna go grab this thing. We off to the races. And just to see him go grab the rebound with aggression, knock Jabari down, boom, take off up the court. That's the kind of energy you need from a player. He sells out unconsciously. He sells out for everything he does. And I don't mean sell out like Uncle Tom Cabin. I mean he sells out for everything he does. He sells out without thinking about it. No thought process goes into it. It's just I'm just selling out for it. It's my job. Now I'm not saying he's airhead or nothing like that, but that's just my take. Now, with that being said, Um, let's see. Did I touch on everything? Reed Shepard pushing the ball up the court, big deal for me. Just to recap, I I I love the speed at which he's getting the ball up the court now, especially when people are trying to pressure him. Oh, Alpin Shangoon, boneheaded play. I give you one. 8 second violation in the clutch. 8 second violation in the clutch. You got to get the ball up the court. Do a little fancy move, crossover, get the ball up the court, go. Go. All that fancy footwork in at the half court line, that was that was the play that you should be up Chuck Kamaloofing about right now. Cause that play almost threw me. That play was the play of all the plays tonight. That was well, yeah, even more so than the Kevin Durant turnover. Because the Kevin Durant turnover was just, you know, lanky nigga trying to dribble the ball. It's just one of them things that happen sometimes when you got a lanky nigga trying to dribble the ball. Sometimes they just, ball just slip out your hand. You got a long ways to go between hands. You trying to pick the ball up, it's a long way up. And the ball just do weird stuff when gravity is involved. But that turnover could have happened to anybody. Um, but the LP 8 second violation, oh man. And the KD missed free throw. The KD missed free throw. How many times? How many times? Oh yeah, here goes something else I want to touch on. I'm gonna touch on that too. How many times have we seen the greatest scorer in the world miss clutch free throws? How many times have we seen the greatest scorer in the world of all time history miss clutch free throws? Everybody was 100%. Everybody. Nobody missed a free throw tonight. 2 free throws to take us to double overtime. Give us an opportunity to correct the mistakes that we made for the past 4 minutes of this overtime where we let these guys get up. Nope, didn't foul no damn body. You you let them run up 14 straight points and didn't foul not a soul. The whole team didn't foul not a soul. They fouling you. They fouling you. They busting lips, busting elbows to the back, grabbing Kevin Durant jersey. Slow mo come in doing his thing. And I said, when I saw slow mo, I was like, oh shit. Cause slow mo got hot. Slow mo got hot, and he don't got no die. He don't got no lay down in him. He don't slow mo one of them players like I'm coming off the bench. I don't know whether we winning or losing. I'm just gonna go in here and do what I do. That's how slow mo play. Slow mo play like, oh yeah, what time is it? I ain't even gonna look at the shot clock. I'm just gonna look at my look at my watch, go in here and play the way I play, and go back to wherever they tell me to go back to. I ain't even worried about the clock. But Kevin Durant had an opportunity to correct all the flaws that we made in that last 4 minutes, and it was a plethora of flaws made in that last 4 minutes, and he kind of flamed out. You know, it don't take away what I said about him after the Bulls game. I mean, after the not the Bulls game. It don't feel like what I said about him after the he scored the points past Jordan game, the Bulls game. That's a different story, but it don't take away that. It don't take away his greatness. It don't take away, you know, the stuff that he did in the league. But it does exemplify why when people say greatest all time, people like Kevin Durant don't come up in the greatest of all time list. And that leads me to my next point, my next topic. I wanted to touch on. They were saying on one of the TV networks, why doesn't Kevin Durant get more acknowledgement in the greatest of all time conversation? And they come up with all this stuff, and I'm like, I think y'all missing the point. I think y'all missing the point. Every person that can be considered an all-time GOAT, a GOAT conversation person, has a moment, has moments where they've done something that other people just can't do. Right? Every other body. When you talk about this person is the greatest of all time, you have to be able to tell me something about this person that nobody else fits into that category but them. When you talk about Michael Jordan, nobody can fly through the air holding the ball with one hand, tongue out, feet back, look like they in the air longer than everybody else. You jump, they still jumping. You come down, and then they come out of the gliding pose into a perfectly formed jump shot and hit a jump shot. Nobody can do that. Only Michael Jordan can do that. Only Michael Jordan could jump in the air, catch the ball with one hand, fake it while he in the air, and then lay it up. Only Michael Jordan could do that kind of stuff. Nobody's ever been able, even Dr. J couldn't do that kind of stuff. Michael Jordan was different. Nobody could shoot 50 points in fadeaways but Wilt Chamberlain. Nobody could do that but Wilt Chamberlain. Nobody can hit 50 points worth of fadeaway jumpers other than Wilt Chamberlain. He was the only person that could do it. Right? Nobody could be coaching, getting 20 rebounds, and still scoring 20 or 30 points and 20 rebounds and get 11 championships. Nobody could do it. Nobody has never done it. Nobody came in as a rookie playing shooting guard, moved to the first of all, playing point guard in college and in high school, played shooting guard starting off the year, moved to the point guard immediately from practice, and then played center in the finals and got 40, 15, and 13, 5 spots removed from your natural position. Nobody has ever done it. 40 points as a rookie in the finals to win the chip. Nobody's never done it. What is it about Kevin Durant that is that moment? He doesn't have that thing that he's had those moments like the people that we consider the GOATs to have. It's that simple. That's why he's not considered a GOAT level player because he don't have those moments. You can point to KD in 2 or 3 moments in his life. Big shot over LeBron, toe on the line against Milwaukee. That's it. That's it. Stepped out of bounds against stepped out of bounds, ran out of bounds and saved the ball. But other than that, now you got the corner three to pass Michael Jordan. He don't have the big moments that nobody else can do but him. That's why he's not. Even with Tracy McGrady, even if you want to say Tracy McGrady is a GOAT, then you can say, man, Tracy McGrady scored 13 points in 35 seconds. That's something nobody's ever done. So you have certain things that you look for as criteria to say this is GOAT level shit. And Kevin Durant just doesn't have it. Am I knocking him? No, he's still a very good player. He's just not GOAT level. And I named 5 guys who have to be in the GOAT level. So Kevin Durant cannot even really realistically be considered the fifth best because he can't pass those five guys. Now, with that being said, can you pair Kevin Durant with somebody else on this Rockets team to make a championship contender? Yes. Yes. But if you give up Alper Şengün, you better get a post player. Let me repeat. If you give up Alfred, um, I cannot remember how old boy was saying his name, but if you give up Alfred Şengün, you better get a post player because I guarantee you one thing. Giannis will not do, bro. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you. Kevin Durant and Giannis. What's the difference between Dame Lillard and Giannis and Kevin Durant and Giannis? Dame Lillard don't turn the ball over. Dame Lillard don't turn the ball over. Dame Lillard don't have to be nowhere inside the 3-point line to have a good game. So what you doing with Kevin Durant is you saying, hey Giannis, come zooming up in here and going to the goal and dunking on people, but I'm gonna be standing right here too. So when they have to wall off against Giannis, all they gotta do is turn their body from where Kevin Durant at and wall. Guess what? Here's the thing. If we got if we was to get Giannis and we still had Reed Shepard and Kevin Durant and we still had Armin, I would feel like we're gonna win a championship. I'm not gonna lie. I would feel like we're gonna win a championship. I would feel like, damn, this team is pretty powerful. Well, no, because yeah, you kind of got a point. For one, you do kind of got a point. But let me explain this. Albert Şengün is such a shifty player that his lateral movements from side to side is different than Giannis going straight downhill. And the fact that LP is a much better 3-point shooter than Giannis, undeniable. Undeniable. Now, he's a much better 3-point shooter than Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, with that being said, let me keep it a bean. I would feel like we could win a championship with Giannis, but I would also be hella scared that in 3 years we'd have a team that looked a lot like, you know what? Okay, watch this. We would be Paul George, Carmelo Anthony, OKC, right? But we would have our Shea on the team not scoring 21, 22 points. Because Shea, when Paul George and Carmelo was in OKC, Shea was a clipper. When they moved Paul George, they brought Shea to OKC. But Shea was scoring 21, 22 when he came to OKC, 21, 23. And then he kept going up from there. In his first year, he was in the Clipper, he was scoring 10 points. When he came to OKC, I think he went up to 19, and then he went to 23 by his third year. Then by his fourth and fifth year, 25, 27, right? Ahmed has shown that he can score 23 points a game. Ahmed can score 23 points a game. But if we got Giannis and KD, if we got Carmelo and Paul George on the team already, it's just not going to work. It's just not going to work. So the best thing we can do is get them and hope that somebody still want them when they gone. Get them and hope that somebody, you know, still would be like the Clippers and be like, hey, we'll give you a good up and coming player for KD and Giannis, and then we can continue to build around Armin and Reed Shepard. That's just because like I told you, King, in my world, KD got one more year before I ask him to go to the bench. He got one more year before, and it might be next year. It might be next year where I say, hey, bro, you want to score? You want to score 25 points, 30 points off the bench? You want to come in the game and just shoot the ball whenever you want to and try to catch LeBron? You might need to come off the bench and be Lou Will. You might need to come off the bench and be Jamal Crawford. You might need to come off the bench and try to score 30 a night off the bench. But that would be, for me, that would be next, maybe not next year, because I want to give KD as Batman one more year to try to get a championship. And here's the thing. If I'm moving a player, and let's be honest. Let's be honest. Do you think KD and Giannis gonna be able to beat Wemby next year? That's 1 year. But the year after that, nah, bro. Nah, bro. You gotta rebuild. You gotta retool. You gotta retool. And you know what? That's a lot of money, bro. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. That means that shit. Child, please. Um, what's old boy name play for Chicago, man? Uh, because Chicago got a million guards over there. Chicago got a million guards, bro. Let me look over here. Let me look at all these guards Chicago got. Dilly, Rob Dillon, Rob Dillingham. That boy was 0 for 4 tonight from 3. And he was cooking the shit out of us. 12 points on 5 or 10 shooting. 2 rebounds, or assist, and a steal. Look, do they have Jay Nivey? I thought Jay Nivey got traded to. I thought Jay Nivey got traded to Chicago too. Colin Sexton balling out of control. Colin Sexton older though, but make a long story short, Rob Dillingham is still a young point guard. 6'2", he a little bit small. He a little bit small. But yeah, they do got Jay Nivey. Jay Nivey 6'3". Fifth overall pick, status out. And I'm telling you, just like I told you, LaMelo Ball is a goon. Jay Nivey is a dog. If he ain't hurt, that boy could be the truth, man. When that boy ain't hurt, that boy is the absolute truth. Um, Now I just think it's because you got to be able to match up and you got to be able to find mismatches that can beat the competition. This ain't a time to, you know, let's try to get the best players in the world and stick them all on one team and let's just go for one championship. But it does speak to looking at it and saying, "Hey, look, I want to win for this guy. I want to win for that guy." Because I'm sure that at a point, Ime is saying, "Damn, I need to try to win because I like Raphael Stone." And Stone is saying, "Damn, I need to try to get the best defensive players I can get so I can help Ime out." You know, but Giannis got to get back on the juice or whatever he was on. He got to get back on the juice because I don't need another hurt player. I'm surprised. I'm surprised that the guys we have played as many games as they have. Lord knows, Lord knows, I didn't think that everybody was gonna play as many games as they did. I'm gonna tell you something else. I'm gonna say this to you, King. You can't tell me, bro, when Alvin Shangon blocked that shot, you didn't get hype. You had to got hype when Alvin Shangon went up there and got that block. Then he came down and then blocked another one, and then face was busted open. You had to been hype, bro. You had to have felt like, damn, that's the LP we want to see. You had to. You had to look at it and been like, yeah, that's the LP we want to see. But besides that, hey man, what you think about that boy Mike Evans? Do we got us one? Or we got us a player that's a little bit past his prime? You think Mike Evans gonna be a factor this year? That's what I'm waiting to see. I'm waiting to see if this boy Mike Evans and Brock Purdy link up. If Kyle Shanahan don't hurt him, you know Kyle Shanahan known for hurting somebody. You're right, exactly. Kyle Shanahan gonna have that nigga hurt first. First play of the season, goddamn. Kyle Shanahan gonna have that boy hurt. Running a fullback blast. My bad, I gotta wipe my mouth because YouTube be hawking me. But Kyle Shanahan had that boy Mike Evans running the full blast. 50. What they used to call it? Not the full blast. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, full blast. Had that boy up there running in the middle. But nah, man, LP played good, bro. He had 30 points, bro. He had Rudy in foul trouble. He had Rudy in foul trouble too. But I think what the Rockets got to do is it's the thing I always say. You got to be the team to break the league, and to be fair, it's exactly what we did this year. Because this thing I kept saying, hey, if what you plan on doing is we want an all world defense across the board, we're gonna defense you to death. If that's your plan, I'm with it. Just as long as you know, I'm not trying to match up with nobody. What I want to do, I want to have something that's gonna break the league, and they did. Defense and rebounding. They had world breaker defense and world breaker rebounding on the team. But Steven Adams got hurt, and the rest is history. The rest is history because once the rebounding went, once that world breaker rebounding went, like your defense still good, but it's not world breaker because you don't have no shot blocker. If Alperson gonna get you 4 blocks and we happy about it, that's not gonna get you far. We need a legit jump up and throw that shit out there every time. We need you know, if you want to be that kind of defensive team, you need a DeAndre Jordan. You need a Andre Drummond. You need a what's old boy a hot Whiteside. Your boy Whiteside, Hassan Whiteside. You need something like that. You need something that's just a guaranteed shot block if you in here with me. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Would you rather get Giannis or would you rather get Bam Adebayo? Who is a better player to you, Giannis or Bam? Did we talk about this other night? I don't know. I don't know if we even discussed it. But I'm like, I have to look at it and say, I have to go through the league and I would need to find out who are the legit actual shot blockers in the league. That would be the only way that I would be able to just say, we need to start trading players off our team. Because if it ain't that, if it ain't like, you know, if it ain't like the analytics tells us that if we get this guy, we can it can make our defense 100 times better or whatever the case, not 100 times better, but you know what I'm saying. You know, it's hard for me to vouch for it, man. It's hard for me to vouch for it. This craziness. Um, sheesh, get out of here, bro. Oneka Conwu, he gonna be a force. Luke Cornett, come on, bro. Nas Reed, Jabbar Smith Jr. Alperen Sengun is 25th in blocks, and Jabbar Smith is 31st in blocks. Where is Reed Shepard in blocks? Probably Clint Capella is 49th in blocks. Paul Reed, Kate Cunningham, Oshar Thompson, all in the blocks. Isaiah Stewart is leading their team in blocks. Jalen Duren is not even, he 45th in blocks. So they whole damn team is in the top 50 in blocks. And guess what? Nikola Yoke, Kevin Durant is up there in blocks too. Jabari Smith. Matter of fact, okay, it's LP, then Jabari, then Kevin Durant. DeAndre Ayton is a little bit worse than Jabari Smith Jr. Mark Williams is not blocking shots like I thought he was. Donovan Clingan. But then again, like I said, you can't convince me. You can't convince me that I'm finna have Albert Shangon, Donovan Clingan, and Reed Shepard on the court all at the same time. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. But with that being said, guess what? You gotta you gotta do something. You gotta do something strategically hard to overcome. Donovan Clingan, 12 rebounds, 1.7 blocks. Come on, man. Come on, man. That's game changing. That's game changing. Are they finna get off Donovan Clingan? You might can get Donovan Clingan for something. But then again, it's other players that's gonna be just as good. Nah, LP ain't maxed out as a player at all. LP ain't maxed out as a player at all. He 23 years old, bro. He 23 years old. There's no way he maxed out as a player, bro. You know how old Louis Scola was when we got Louis Scola? Do you know how old Louis Scola was 6'7"? He was 27 years old when we drafted Louis Scola. We drafted a 27-year-old player. And you trying to tell me that Albert Shangoon at 23 can't be that good when he get 3, 4 more years? Come on, bro. Luis Scola could never jump like Albert Shangoon. Was never no shot blocker like LP. Never. And I tell you something else. Could never dribble no ball like LP. He could pass now. And Scola could pass that thing. Scola passed that rock. I ain't gonna lie about that though. But Scola was 27 when we drafted him. Scola was Scola was uh Scola was 27 when we drafted him. Let's see. Uh Let me see. Let's see. Nah, man. Let's see if I can. No, Al Pachinko Al Pachinko is a decent shot blocker, man. You see the merch, man. You see you see the merch. But look, this the thing. We have to have a shot. It ain't no way around this part of it, okay? We have to have a shot blocker. We can't rely on Clint Capella to come in and get you 2, 3 blocks every now and again. But your shot blocker has to be able to move laterally. This is the part where I'm saying this is where Giannis was effective because Giannis could jump out the gym and he can move laterally. It's players in the league that can block shots and move laterally. Before I go after and spend a lot of shit on Giannis, I might would try to get Alex Saw. I might would try to get you know what I mean? I might would go after Alex Saw before I go after a Giannis. You feel where I'm going with this? I rather try to get a young player that match our timeline that still can do some of the stuff that Giannis can do, but he's still not gonna cost not gonna break the bank. That's the thing. It's not gonna break the bank. Breaking the bank is the thing that I don't want to do. I'm not gonna break the bank for no stretch of the imagination because we, let me tell you, when Kendrick Perkins was talking about Giannis coming to Houston, let me tell you what Kendrick Perkins said. Kendrick Perkins said was talking about. Kendrick Perkinson was talking about Alfred Shangoon, Armin Thompson, Jabari Smith Jr. for Giannis. Are you doing that trade? Are you making that trade? Are you making that trade? Yeah, that's the case. You might well throw Reed Shepard in too. You might well give him LP, Armin, and Reed, and just have KD and Jabari. And you just got, you just gonna have Giannis doing what? Doing what? Because we know he don't like to play the center. He's not a center. He's not a center. So you're gonna have what is Giannis gonna be doing? Playing the power forward. Then you're gonna have Jabari. What Jabari doing? Playing the power forward. Then you're gonna have KD doing what? Playing the power forward. Everybody playing the power forward. Everybody playing the power forward. We got all power forwards on the court. All power forwards on the court. 5 of them. Because at that point you're gonna have Fred VanVleet back. So you're gonna have Fred VanVleet and then look at the team. Listen at the team. Fred VanVleet, Kevin Durant, Giannis. What's the difference between that and Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, Giannis? What's the difference? The same team. It's the same team that he won a championship with and then didn't get back. And then they traded the team away because it wasn't going to win no more. You know why it wasn't going to win? Because you can wall up against Giannis. You can build a wall, take Giannis out the game, and there's nothing that he can do because he can't make free throws. See, that's the thing people forget about. People forget about the fact that he won once on the East Coast, but he never went back on the East Coast. You on the East Coast, you supposed to be a top 3 player, the best player of all time. It's no way LeBron James would have been on the East Coast all them years and only won 1 championship. And he was the best player. So no, Giannis, no, I'm not giving up Albert Shango and Armin Thompson and everybody for Giannis. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that because in my mind's eye, Armin is still capable of scoring 30 and getting you 15 rebounds. Armin can still do that. Armin still not averaging it, but I think he can average 25, 10, like I said earlier. Yeah, if we acting thirsty. If we acting thirsty, they're gonna ask for some shit that's gonna break the whole team down. It don't listen. If you give up Alperen Sengun and any one of them, no, I'm not bringing up Armin for no reason. Kendrick Perkins said Armin Thompson and Alperen Sengun. Listen, I listened to what they said. I listened to what Kendrick Perkins said way before people started talking about it. Today, Kendrick Perkins said it twice. Kendrick Perkins said it twice on national TV. He said it on ESP on First Take, and then he said it on Road Tripping. He said that shit 2-3 months ago when the trade deadline was jumping. He talking about Alper Şengün and Amin Thompson for Giannis. Now you talking about a person that's well, no, you're right. He don't know no info, but he. That's right. He a talking head. He Houston influence because he from there, and he got a big ass platform, and he putting that shit out in the ether, talking about. I don't know why the Rockets didn't pull no trigger. They got young talent. They could have gave up Alper Şengün, Amin Thompson, and pair Giannis with KD. And I'm like, damn, what's the difference between Giannis and KD and then Giannis and Dame Dash? I mean, Damon Lillard. What's the difference? Hell, Dame scored 71. KD ain't never scored 70. Dame will shoot that bitch from yesterday. KD barely a shoot a three. KD will barely shoot 5 threes. So you mean to tell me a player that shoot threes don't blend better with Giannis than a player who barely shoot threes? All I'm saying is, if we get thirsty looking like we want Giannis, they gonna try to tax us, and then that I mean, yeah, it would, yeah, it would. If you gave them Jabbar and LP made 35, Jabbar made 20. That's 55, bro. That's Giannis right there. You throw in Tari Eason or Jay Sean Tate, throw in a Jay Sean Tate and 2-3 first round picks. Yeah, the money match up. But what you think I'm gonna make? So if that's what I said, Jabari, LP, and Ahmed, the money will match up. Because they gonna want Ahmed and LP. That's what they were saying. Now what I'm saying is they ought to know by now that we're not giving up Ahmed Thompson. They ought to know that. But then they also ought to know that, oh, and by the way, Kevin Durant said on the podcast that if he ever got traded to a team like Milwaukee or Charlotte, he was gonna retire. Would be too much if they didn't make the money match because they might ask us to take a contract. It ain't look. If they want Armin, they gonna ask for Armin. Yeah, and we need to unload cap space. And they got cap space. So we gonna get him, throw Armin in. All I'm saying is, bro, just because you say the money Armin would be too much, that don't mean that that's not what they would want. They will find a way to make it work. If we was gonna give them LP, Barry, and Armin, you mean to tell me that they wouldn't find a way to make it work? They will find a way to make it work. They'll give us Kevin Porter Jr. back. Or Ryan Rollins. What's his name? Ryan Rollins? They'll give us Ryan Rollins and they'll give us Ryan Rollins and Giannis, and we get him LP, Armin, Barry. Nah, it don't. It don't. Now listen, if he requests Houston, they don't give a damn what he requests, bro. They don't care what that man requests. They already said they gonna trade him if he don't sign the extension they gonna trade him. That's what they said. They said, look, if you don't sign this extension, we're gonna trade you. And guess what that means? That means, oh yeah, we got beef, you got beef, you trying to flex on us? If you don't sign this extension, we'll ship your ass to Charlotte for nipple, nigga. We gonna ship your ass to Charlotte for nipple. We'll send your ass to Philadelphia and get VJ Edgecombe. We don't gotta send you nowhere. We don't gotta send you nowhere you want to go. And guess where he gonna end up at? Guess where he gonna end up at? Utah. You know where he gonna end up at? Utah. Guess why? Because Utah got picks. Utah got a shit ton of talent. You can get Triple J, uh, Walker Kessler, and Larry Markkinen. And then he'll be over there with Ace Bailey, uh, shit. What's his name? The other young boy that be hooping. They got talent. Or they can just, I'm telling you, they gonna send his ass, he can send his ass to Utah and get good picks. They can get good picks and players from Utah. They can get good picks and players from um San Antonio. They can get good picks and good players from uh shit. Any damn world. Anywhere. Portland. They can mess around there and send his ass to Brooklyn. They can send his ass to Phoenix. They can send him wherever the hell they want to send him. Why would they even send him to Houston if we're not gonna give up at least Reed Shepard? At least because Reed Shepard make 11 million, LP makes 35. So what's that? 46. See what I'm saying? 46 and Jay Sean Tate right there. LP, Reed Shepard, Jay Sean Tate. What the hell? Oh my day. Whatever. no ant no antenna on TV. Everyone was betting on the Rockets. Man, that was a rough game, bro. That was a rough game. No, there is no. The Jay Sean Tate make what? 8 million. Reed make 11. LP make 34. That's enough right there. That's enough right there. But I know that they're not enough players, so we would have to give up Atari. Would have to give up Atari or somebody like that. No, that Rockets game was crazy. I didn't bet on it when I saw Scott Foster. I was like, I'm not betting. I thought about it, but when I saw Scott Foster, I was like, nah, I'm good. Nah, I'm good. Scott Foster not gonna do it for me, bro. But no, that game was absolutely wild. That game was absolutely wild. Did you have money on the game? I guess that ain't my business. But if you had, KD tried to sell. What you mean? KD tried to sell. KD sold. KD threw the ball away, missed the free throws. He sold. He sold. It mean at the end of the day, he the ball slipped out his hand. That was just a fluke play. That was just a fluke play. There's no way you could blame somebody for just a miscue like that. But the two free throws from a clutch guy is hard for me to It's hard. Pause. It's hard for me to stomach from that guy. that guy that we brought here to be that guy missed those free throws in that moment. That was tough for me. But yeah, that was a wild game. It was definitely a wild game. Is no is really no coming back from a game like that. But like I was saying earlier, yeah, the second miss was on purpose, but that's true. But you know, no second miss, no first miss. You know what I mean? You wouldn't have to miss on purpose if, and even the second miss wasn't a real miss. It wasn't like, the other guys who be missing right off the front of the rim and the ball bounce, skip directly up in the air and come right back to their hand. It wasn't a perfect miss for a guy who been playing 20 years, the best scorer of all time, you know, perfect form. He didn't skip that bitch off the rim and make it go to where the defense couldn't get it. You know, it wasn't like he missed it so perfectly that the defense couldn't get to the ball. So it's just one of them things to me. It's just one of them things like KD, you know, we need you to do that. I mean, I don't bitch moan and groan about too much. But see the turnover, here the thing. It was some turnovers that I didn't that was worse. The one where he made that one bad pass, the ball slipped out his hand. I think he was getting ready to pass it, and then he saw something. He tried to pull it back, and the ball just got loose. He tried to pull his punch last minute, and then the ball just took off on him. But I don't blame him for that last. I don't blame him for that last turnover. That being said, anybody could have made that turnover. It wasn't like a James Harden turnover. It wasn't like, you know, dribble, 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 throw the ball right to the man type shit, you know. But well, nah, because LP, you gotta reward the hot man, and at that point, LP was the one that was bringing the intensity. He bringing the intensity, and that give and go play had worked on back to back to back plays. That little dive, that little screen and dive, you know, play was working. LP was getting all them dunks down the stretch. So you got to go back to it because LP was just putting two on their two pay. He was putting two on their two pay every time they did it. So you got to go back to it. Kind of, sort of. It is. But yeah, I can agree with that you know, from a Kobe mindset, Jordan mindset kind of perspective. I can kind of agree with that. But by the same token, I felt like they should have went to Reed Shepard. I felt like you need 2 points. I feel like you need 2 points. You'll do better off when once Rudy Gobert got out the game. I was like, I would kind of say set the screen and let Reed Shepard get downhill, use his speed, and just get downhill on DiVincenzo. Get Armin the ball, get Armin Thompson the ball, screen, get DiVincenzo on him, let him get downhill and elevate. Because Armin has been shooting exceptional from the free throw line for the past 3 months. It seems like he barely missing free throws. So I'm like, shit, you know, get a ball to Armin, let him get downhill. Yeah, it was okay. Now we talking because you know, in so many words, if you listen to what I'm saying, I don't really blame it on LP. I don't blame it on KD. I don't blame it on Armin. I don't really blame it on Reed Shepard. Don't blame it on Jay Sean Tate. Don't blame it on Tari Eason. Hell, who else was that? Clint Capella, can't blame it on him. You see where I'm going with this? Shit. It ain't but a few more people that I could blame it on. If I was gonna blame it on somebody, if I'm gonna blame it on somebody, well, okay. If 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 I'm gonna blame it on somebody, it ain't but a few more people I can blame it on. So at some point, it's gonna be. I got to look at the coach and be like, "Damn, coach, you didn't." Yeah, there you go. There you go. You can't miss me with that one because I'm like, at a point, 1, 2, 3, you put the same thing in play, the same thing in play, same thing in play. You got to know they finna come with a trap. They go on a 8-point run. They go on an 8-point run. They down by uh at that point they were down by 3, right? Or down by 5. And then you come to the huddle and you like, hey, go back out there and do the same shit that they just came 8 points on. They score 8. Nah, bro. Nah, bro. Hey, look, let's, you know, let's see if we can isolate. And then, hey, KOD, you still in the chat? Put in the chat what I told you about this West Coast game. I said if we don't see KD do it, I think he might be holding punches for the playoff. Did I tell you that he wasn't gonna do it? He wasn't gonna do it against Minnesota. Didn't I tell you that? I told you, KOD. I told you he wasn't gonna do that shit against Minnesota. 100%, without a doubt. I said, look, we're gonna wait to see if we play Minnesota. He's gonna do that same shit that he doing against these East Coast teams. And if he don't do the same shit he was doing against the East Coast teams, I think he holding punches. I think he holding trick moves for the playoff. Who talking about, KD or Ime? Hmm. Facts. Facts. Hmm. Let's see. Let's see. Mhm. Hmm. But all things considered, though, let's see. I appreciate I appreciate the likes. I appreciate the subscribes and all that good stuff. Um, and all that good stuff. This is what we getting ready to do. Hey, Willie Style, hit the sub, hit the like. That way you get notified. Okay, good. Boom. Um, and that way you get notified when I run my pregame shows, my postgame shows. And you can always come up if you want to come up and say something. You want to come up and give your take before I get out of here? I'll drop the link for you if you want to come up here and give your take before I get ready to get out of here. All right. Um, let's see. Oh, no, that's not it. Okay, okay, okay. Cool, cool. Hey, W chat, man. Hey, every show needs a spark, man. And for us, you are it. Absolutely. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, look, we're gonna keep it cooking. I'm finna get ready to turn in for the night. Like I said, I ain't get out too late. I didn't have a chance to do my pregame show today. I wasn't gonna come on. They fooled me. They made me think they were finna win the game. But then I thought about it. I say, well, damn, Scott Foster's still out there. So as long as Scott Foster out there, we probably ain't gonna win. But I went on ahead and jumped in anyway because I have stuff I want to get off my chest. Captain Caveman style. Hey, look, check this out. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, man. You better know what you heard. This is Houston Rockets Red Alert, Unchained, Untapped, Unfiltered, and hell, what? Unsympathetic. Um, y'all know who it is, man. Appreciate everybody coming through. Everybody came through in the chat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many of y'all came through? All the likes, subscribers that came in today. Today was a good day. I appreciate everybody for coming in. Go Rockets. Uh, put in the comments, if y'all think, the Rockets should do a trade for Giannis, or is it somebody else that y'all feel like would be a better fit for this team? You know, we got Fred VanVleet. Is it a better shot blocker? Is it a better point guard? Young talent, old talent? Tell me what y'all think. Meet me back here. Same bad time, same bad channel. We'll get into it. We'll talk basketball. Appreciate y'all for coming, man. I'm out.